Imagine buying a condo downtown of the city you're currently living in, and you pay $175,000 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath condo. Pretty good, right? And your HOA on top of your mortgage is $350, right? Then boom, one day you get a notice your HOA is $1,200 a month starting in 4 months due to some repairs that need to be made immediately. Yeah, I know, that sounds crazy. And guess what? You're stuck there. So, being that you're stuck there, how do you get out that situation? Well, before we talk about how to get out that situation, let's look further into this. If you're currently looking at my screen, you're gonna see this article out of Florida. Yeah, I know the craziest things always happen in Florida. However, this condo owner got hit with an assessment for $224,000. What does that mean? That means that he now is responsible for signing off on a loan for $224,000. Okay? And if you want to read more about this article, I'm going to put the link in the description. Okay? Not only is he going to get hit with signing the loan, right? And this is a retired couple who, they planned out their retirement and how they're going to live. And now all of a sudden they get hit with a 6-figure bill. And the maintenance fees are going from $1,500 a month to $3,000 a month. Okay? Now, I know you're thinking, well, crazy stuff always happens in Florida. That doesn't happen anywhere else. Well, you're wrong, because I can tell you in Charlotte, North Carolina, there have been builders that had a special assessment. I remember I was buying a condo in a neighborhood, whereas it's hard to get a house under, $400,000. And this is probably 6-7 years ago. Well, anyway, I found a condo owner who was saying, hey, listen, just give me $100,000 and this place is yours. He had a 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo. And I'm like, wait, this sounds too good to be true in this particular pocket of Charlotte. So I made some phone calls, and somebody who was very familiar with that building said, yeah, they just got an assessment. So people are trying to sell their units, but they're having a hard time selling the units. What it is that they built the building with stucco. Okay, stucco was very popular probably like 10, 15, 20 years ago, and it was cheaper. However, you had to do it the right way. And of course, the company they used did not do it the right way. So what happens? The rain and the water, after time, it got to the foundation because the stucco was not done the correct way to keep the water out. So the building started leaning to one side. So being that the building started leaning to one side, somebody brung it to the HOA attention. Like, yo, the building is kind of leaning. Something's off. And come to find out, they sent the engineer and they had to fix the foundation and fix the stucco of the building because it wasn't done right. Well, before this happened, his HOA was only $250 a month. Now his HOA was going to $1,200 a month. The same deal, $12 a month, and everybody had to collectively sign for it on the loan. They had to sign the loan for it, and they was expecting after maybe 10 years or so, are paying $1,200 a month collectively. Everybody pays, okay, collectively. So they will be not only paid off, but have the reserves back up. So, but everybody has to be on board. Now, I know what you're thinking, like, what? Man, I ain't paying nothing. Oh, yes, you will. Or the HOA will take your place. It doesn't matter if you have a mortgage on it. The HOA could foreclose and take the deed of that property. Then normally what happens, your bank forecloses on them and they get the property back. So, but you just have foreclosure against you and you lose the property. So therefore these things can be serious, right? Now with these things, with the assessment, right? Like at any given time, you always want to ask whenever you have an HOA, hey, how much is the HOA, and what does it include? All right. So some HOAs, like I have a property, the HOA is like, I think like $220 a year. Basically what they do is just put a wreath in the beginning of the neighborhood for Christmas, right? They don't do anything, right? You're responsible for your lawn, you're responsible for your garbage, everything else is city water, city sewer, so I got the garbage services, etc. The HOA just governs the neighborhood and makes sure that, people don't have disabled cars on the street, or they will get them towed, and people are cutting grass, people are not trashing the neighborhood. That's all they do is govern the neighborhood, right? So that's what the HOA does. And you will have some HOAs where they're like, well, your HOA is $350 a month. That includes your water, that includes your garbage. Yeah, you have to walk your garbage down, but they handle it. So that includes your garbage. That also includes the lawn. So we'll handle the lawn, okay? You got some that say you handle the lawn, all right? You got some say, we do the front yard, but you got to do the backyard. It just all depends. So you always want to ask, but you want to know about these special assessments that happen, right? They can't tell if it happens. Now, this can happen for any reason. If they're low on funds, they got to do a special assessment because they have to have a certain reserve, or it just may be time to do repairs. And the issue with that is, right? The issue with that is sometimes these HOAs, they try to do all the repairs at once. So in the article that I told you about with the guy in Florida, that they're asking him to sign a $224,000 loan, and his maintenance fees go from $1,500 to $3,000. The issue is they doing all the repairs at once. So they neglected everything. So now you gotta do everything at once, which could include, we gotta do the roof, we gotta do the side end. You know what? We also gotta replace some main lines in y'all front yards, in the front of the place, some main plumber lines, etc. So now that's why they like, you gotta, you live here, you responsible, okay? Now, with these special assessments, there was another situation in Charlotte, North Carolina, whereas somebody from the HOA, let's say they had $150,000 in the HOA. Somebody stole $100,000. Of course, the guy got caught and went to prison, but the $100,000 was missing. So they can do a special assessment and say, right now we know y'all HOA is $200, but unfortunately somebody stole some money. They are in jail. So from $200, for we can get our reserve back, we calculate if y'all pay $950 a month for the next 4 years, we should be back on track. And it's like, what I got to do with me? Because somebody stole something over there. So this is why I advise people to never buy a condo, okay? Now, I know what you got to think, like, what's the solution? Well, what do we do? Well, what these people do when they get into these situations, they try to sell, all right? But you have to disclose that information. Or like in North Carolina's attorney state, normally the attorney will tell you, well, listen, we got to get who the HOA to get the information. And when they discover that, they're going to tell you, all right, that, hey, this is what's happening with this HOA. Yeah, your HOA for the next few months is going to be $300, but then it's going to jump to $1,300. They have to let you know that. All right. Even if the owner doesn't want to disclose that, when you get the HOA paperwork, they're going to, let you know that once your attorney does the title search and all that to see what HOA is, because they have to search out, it might be a balance. They need to know how much it is going forward, etc. And they got to put this on the HUD statement. So they're going to let you know that. Now, and if it's a realtor involved in the transaction, legally they have to disclose that. You're trying to sell this, right? That you have to disclose this information, especially if you have a realtor. So what happens? Normally the people just don't. They can't sell. They can't sell. So now you stuck. So at one point, let's go to back to the Charlotte situation I was talking about with a guy with the Stucco, and he wanted $100,000 for his 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo. It was probably worth fixed up. I'm sorry, it was already fixed up, but it's probably worth $250 if that wasn't going on. But he like, just give me $100 and I'm out. All right. So, but it's probably worth $250, right? Now he's begging for $100. That's what can happen to your value. That HOA can have that much power. Those condominium fees, those maintenance fees can have that much power over your value, because they can change something or they can ask for some money and that can destroy the value of your particular property. So I'm going to tell you, don't buy condos, stay away from those HOA fees. Always ask what's included. I do have some rental property that is in the HOA, but there's nothing included besides paying in their fees and them governing the neighborhood, which I'm okay with. All right, so guys, stay away from those condos. They can be nothing but trouble. So guys, at this point, right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this video next to me of me sitting down with an attorney's office discussing the power of HOAs. I'm Nasa, aka the real estate guru. I'm not a guru, I'm a guru because I actually do this business. Peace.